Good afternoon to those of you who have tuned in. We are simply doing system tests for the day. Hello, talk to Tony Wilson. How are you today? We're doing system tests pre-Black and Bling weekend. We're getting ready. We're testing new platforms so that we can bring you all of the best possible experiences for inside stepping. So bear with us as we just run through a few things to make sure that we are able to provide the best possible situation. I want to make sure that we are showing up and showing out, y'all. Let's see. How y'all doing today, by the way? Everybody good? There we go. Okay, good. We're now on the X platform, which is Twitter, live. We've added that and Instagram to the system. And we are in the process of testing these out right now to make sure that we are live on these platforms. Okay, we've got the Black and Bling we're on X. We got to get the IG situation cleared up here. Okay, let's see. Streaming on IG. And we are streaming. We are also now streaming live on Mixcloud. And that is always going to be a good bet because we can, the music is licensed through there automatically. So we don't have any problem there. Let's see. Go live. Through there. All right. Automatically. And we are already live on Mixcloud. We are live on X, formerly Twitter. And the only one we have to be concerned about at this point is the Instagram feed. So this is a system test. And y'all get ready for the good stuff because it's coming real soon. We will be in Dallas, Texas on tomorrow to bring to you live the Black and Bling weekend. And tomorrow night is the white night. We may be set up in time to bring the Hawaiian set tomorrow. We'll see. If not, you will see the black. But on the following day, there will be the camouflage set as well as the black party. I'm sorry, white party. No, Saturday is camouflage and black. Friday is Hawaiian and white. All right. I don't see where we are live on IG. That is a problem. Let's see here. So as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, this is a system test. We are checking our stuff to make sure that we bring you all of this in its entirety on over the weekend. Let's see here. Paste. Save. Huh. Okay. Let's go back. There it is. Okay. Very good. All right. All right. So, for future reference, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you are not a Facebook fan, whatever that means to you, we are also now live through Instagram, Mixcloud, Facebook page for Inside Stepping. The Inside Stepping, unfortunately, group is one we're having problems with because Facebook disconnected the ability to go live on their platform. And so then we have my regular Facebook page, which you can always tune into because it is open and public. It's not friends only. And also we have Twitch along with Twitter, which is formerly known as Twitter X. And like I said, the Inside Stepping page, and of course YouTube. And you guys, you always, I always recommend going to the YouTube channel, mainly because you will be able to physically watch the show on your big screen, on your television. You'll be able to do your thing and check that out, without having to sit there and watch the thing on your phone or your tablet or stuff like that. Hey, Valeria Connor, how you doing, doll? That's my homegirl right there. She says she can't wait to get started. I can't wait to get started either. I'm always looking forward to bringing the best broadcast we can to our stepping community and our stepping partners and all those around the community who enjoy what we enjoy, who have a love for this dance. And so we're just running through a few system tests today so that when we're on site tomorrow, we will have all of our behind the scenes housekeeping knocked out. That's kind of important. I hate it when we have little technical problems, but it's just really weird. I don't care what we do or where we go. I'm right here in the studio, and this is not a Wi-Fi situation because generally most of the problems that we have with our systems is Wi-Fi a lot of times for various reasons and cell signal. But when we are fortunate enough, like I am here in the studio, able to hardwire the system and everything is doing what it's supposed to do, then we generally don't have the types of problems that we have while we're working in the field. And so much like
call it elephant
in the
that doesn't
DJ
matter.
realm, we have to do the homework now and behind the scenes so that when we go to a location and we're doing our thing, that everything is operating properly and we don't run into some of the headaches that we would generally run into. I'm going to try right now while I'm sitting here to correct the Facebook page because unfortunately we have quite a few members on the Facebook page, and the last thing that we want is for anyone to miss out on any of the good stuff. And it's been a location for a lot of people to be able to go and check out the shows. And since we've been having, or should I say since Facebook decided to disconnect groups from the ability to stream live through third-party apps. And that's what we use third-party software to be able to bring that. I would have to go live directly through Facebook, which we don't want to do because then it would eliminate all of the other platforms, which we have 7 of outside of this one. And I know that's quite a bit, but you know, you got them. How you say, if you got it, smoke it. You got them, smoke them. So we trying to smoke them. We trying to use everything we got, use all of the things at our disposal to make your viewing experience that much better. Now I'm tripping because I can't find where it is that I need to be to do this thing. Let's see. Watch poll. There we go. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's go here. Display. It's an option. Okay. Cancel that. Turn that on. Boom. Let's see. Brenda Montgomery. Hello, how are you? Thank you for that compliment. She says, I love your commitment to excellence, customer service. I have been able to experience stepping throughout the global stepping community thanks to Inside Stepping. Well, I do appreciate that very much, Brenda, and that's our goal here. I figure like this, you know, if I can't do it the right way, I'm really not one to do stuff that I can't do properly. Or should I say, to the best of my ability, at the very least, in these processes. You know, it's no point in going halfway in. If we're going to do it, we got to do it. So we're doing what we can with what we got. And as long as I have people like you that are going to use it and enjoy it, then we're going to keep on trying it because it is necessary. It is necessary for us to be able to bring you the best possible scenario in these cases. Oh, there we are. Oh, nope, that's the wrong one. In these cases. Oh. Nope. That is actually the page. I'm trying to get this group back online here. But yeah, so you know, the whole thing is I want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to enjoy the events that we go to. Because let's face it, y'all. Everybody is not able. Everybody is not able to be at these events. And simple fact is, if you watch the show on Tuesday, yesterday, as a matter of fact, you will notice the discussion was about promoters, and not necessarily about promoters, but about the events, because there are so many of those things, so many events taking place now that we economically are being pushed. Not necessarily forced, because everybody's situation is different, but we're being pushed to have to pick and choose which events we decide to partake in for economic reasons. I mean, let's face it, you know, these things are not getting any cheaper. Shouts out to my man, Irie Israel, the Cat in the Hat, for pointing out. And now y'all got to remember something. Irie is one of those people who's been around the promotion game since promotion outside the city of Chicago for events has been a thing. And because of that, he made some points. Now, he had the largest stepping event in the whole country for years. We talking 7 days almost. in a lot of cases. Not in a lot of cases. Well, that's the way his events were planned. They were everything from bowling outings. There were car shows. You know, the list goes on for all of the things that were available at his events. Then, after you go into all of that, you start to realize when he started out doing this, there were not 15,000 events taking place all at once. That was a time when he was able to provide something for the people out here, for everyone who wanted to come to an event where we fellowship from all over the country in one location. And he did a fantastic job at it for years. But because of rising costs, because of all of the things that go with promoting an event, it became impractical at this point. And that's what prompted me to one of the things that prompted me to kind of do the show last night about the things that are going on around the communities where the events are concerned, because you start to ask yourself, first of all, and the primary question from last night's show was, why are you giving an event? What is your motive? If you haven't, I ain't going to completely rehash what we talked about last night, but while we're doing these system tests, we're going to talk about it just a little bit. The question becomes, why are people giving events? What is the purpose or the motivation to want to give an event? Is it a self-serving thing? Is it that you're actually trying to do something for the people? And, you know, sometimes when we think we're trying to do something for the people, we often almost cause more problems sometimes for the people by not clearly understanding the landscape or what's going on around the actual community. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. If, let's say you're in a local area and you give a set, you have to ask yourself, are you giving that set to benefit the community? Now, let's say that your automatic answer is yes. Well, here's the thing. Who else in the community is doing things? Is what you're about to do going to be a disruptor for what they are already doing? Are you throwing your hat into a ring that technically you probably shouldn't be? Now, that's not to say that people should be discouraged from giving events, because, you know, if somebody wants to give an event, well, they should be allowed to do that. But like the dance itself, we have floor etiquette, we have common sense behaviors, we have things that go on around the community that a person should take into account before they act or speak. And being in promotion should actually be one of those things. There should be an etiquette to deciding that you want to do an event. For example, how is it that you have people who will come into someone else's city, or let's just say move there? Y'all know a lot of steppers move around, especially sometimes people from Chicago tend to move around a lot, right? That's a beautiful thing. And they move into other cities. But when you move into these other cities, how well do you know the people in these cities? How connected are you to people in these cities? Do you know the lay of the land? Do you know who's doing what? And if that be the case, then wouldn't it seem like you would want to show the people in that area, in that city, in that region, that you are well enough known or have enough skin in the game, or or there's some reason. And I'll tell you, one of the things for me, I never set out to be not only a promoter nor a DJ. I did these things because no one else where I live was doing it. Now, there were people doing promotions, but they were doing it on a larger scale, and we needed something to be able to do on kind of a regular basis. So I started doing, weekly sets, just a weekly free, come dance, have a great time, go home. No politics involved. You don't have to, we ain't got to be friends. We ain't got to hang out. Ain't no kumbaya. We ain't got to break bread, none of that. Come dance, have a good time, go home. That was the gist of it all. But you have people who move into other people's cities or live in another city and decide they're going to throw a set in a city that they don't even live in. Now, and have not more or less, and I don't mean, when I say checked in, I don't mean that in a, you got to check with people when you go to their city. You can do what you want. It's a free country. But in terms of etiquette, in terms of respect, wouldn't it seem like you would want to, connect with the people? Because here's the question. Even if you did that, are the local people, who's coming? And are you expecting people to travel from out of town to come promote you, to support you in a city that you're not from? Because you jumped up and decided arbitrarily, oh, I'm going to have a set there. Why? Did you think that there was nothing else going on in the whole city? And then when you get there, are you stepping on somebody else's toes? Are you running up on somebody else's day that they've been given a set in that city? One of the things that I have to ask is, when people do things like that, do they think they're doing the public at large a favor, or is the public at large doing them a favor by even showing up? Because let's face it, as a promoter, a DJ, a podcaster, without the people, we have nothing. If you're not doing the right things, hey, Jill's Chocolate, how you doing? If we're not doing the right things, I personally expect for the general public to hold me accountable. One of the things that I benefit from doing this show is that I'm not quite the loose cannon I used to be. And that's been good for me in my personal growth, because, there's a lot of things that, I sometimes I want to act up. I have people that say things and do things that are disrespectful, wrong, that I believe deserve correction, especially as it pertains to me, but particularly as it pertains to this dance. Now, I've had to be very mindful and sometimes creative in the way that I deal with these things so that I don't turn you off. See, I'm responsible for how I present myself and my content to you. The day I lose that, I take that responsibility away, y'all should hold me accountable. Y'all should say, B, you could have done, you didn't have to go there. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to, say that, or whatever the case may be. And don't get me wrong, a lot of things get said that I feel need to be said. And there are going to be times where I'm going to say it anyway, but I'm going to do it in a way that makes it so that it's clearly understood. I believe in giving the benefit of the doubt, but I'm also not a fool. And I'm not going to play around when it comes to certain things. But my point is that you all have to hold me accountable. You got to hold these promoters accountable. You got to hold these DJs accountable. You got to hold these instructors accountable. If you go spend your money somewhere and you're not getting what you feel like you paid for, I don't care what it is. You need to make sure that you're getting value for your dollar. The only reason stepping is where it is today on a lot of levels is because people somewhere in there, money got involved. And when that happened, it helped the game, but it hurt the game in a lot of ways, because you got a lot of unscrupulous people that are more interested in a buck than anything else. And you represent a dollar to them. There are promoters that really walk into rooms at sets and start counting heads. Sometimes they're not even promoters. They're just people. They walk in the door and they start looking around the room and they go 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, blah, 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 blah. They're counting and they're thinking, that's a lot of money. What they're not counting is how much got spent in order for this event to take place. Dennis Howard Hodges, Pastor D, is in the building. We both have grown, my mellow. Yes, sir. Yes, we have. That's where we come from. Thank God for his spirit to keep us in check. Absolutely, my man. Dennis Howard Hodges, y'all. That's my guy. All the way out there in San Diego by way of Chicago, one of Chicago's finest, West Side. We must hold each of us accountable. More than anything else, we have to hold ourselves accountable. And I hold myself accountable in regard to the information that I provide and the way we do things on Inside Stepping. I must do that, because if I don't have any integrity, then I'm leading you to the slaughter. The whole purpose here has always been to give the people around this community a point of reference, a somewhere where they can turn to and say, what are the thoughts of the people at Inside Stepping? And I say people, but keep in mind that I interview a lot of individuals who provide a lot of information. Very rarely do we have somebody who will come in here and misrepresent. It generally doesn't happen, but we will always separate facts from opinions and feelings, because the three rarely collide. Most times people are talking, when they talk out of their feelings, they usually don't bring facts. And when they're talking about their facts, they usually are not operating in opinion. Dark Kim, what's happening, my man? He said, we don't do it just for the money. We do it for the love and the money. Absolutely. One day we will make some money. Yes. Now. See, I'm glad you said that, brother. There are days when I'm doing this, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I do this because I love it. Let's just keep it 100. I really do. And the thing is, and I'm gonna just show y'all something right quick. Looking on your screen, that is yet one small corner of where I operate. And this is just the stationary stuff. I have 2 other studios, one of which is mobile. What is this? See, now here we go. Somebody talking about they ran out of gas on YouTube. See, don't do that. See, this is the kind of stuff right here that let me get rid of this here. Yeah, no. Won't nobody be sending you no money. Let me make sure block list on Restream chat. Okay, we gotta get that out of there. Every so often we get people trolling these pages. See, this is why we do these system tests. That's what this is. And while we're doing the system test, I just happen to be running my mouth. But Dark Him makes the point. I was literally just thinking to myself, now all of this stuff over here that you see, that's just one portion of one studio. I spend a lot of money fooling with this thing right here. And it's not that, I do it because I love it, but I have the ability to provide a service to the steppers at large. Don't y'all think for 1 second I don't have days where I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, there's no money in it. Even when the promoters call me and they say, hey, we want you to come out here, and I tell them a certain amount of money. First of all, I'm not telling them, most of the time, I'm not even giving them what this really costs. Just in terms of me, showing up and actually promoting the promotions and everything that goes with it. Believe me, the money that they pay me is, and I try as hard as I can to work with people and work with their budgets, because again, this is for the people. I'm not out here getting no big money out of this. I'm not big money. I ain't get no little money out of this. Most of the time when we go do these events, by the time we get done with travel expenses and everything that goes with it, we lucky if we make anything out of it. But at least we cover our expenses, but it's still, like Darkim said, maybe one day, one of these days, it may turn into something. It may come to fruition that we make some money. Hell, it may not. But at the end of the day, I will know more than anything else that my efforts have led to the betterment of other people's journey in this dance. That right there is everything to me, because, we have people around these communities, sometimes they act up, they get to cutting up sideways and they say things, silly things. And this is here, my opinion. It's not a fact, my opinion, silly things like, it ain't that serious. It's just a dance. Well, maybe to you, it's just a dance. To me, this is what I grew up in and around. As a man, I've somewhat patterned some of the things that I do, the way I operate, on some of the people that I came in contact with in this dance, around this dance, but more than anything else, as a part of Chicago culture. And this dance is very much a part of Chicago culture. And so because of that, it is an insult. And I'm telling y'all this, it is an insult when we hear people say stuff like that. And there are those who will let it roll off their backs and say, well, yeah, it maybe so, maybe it is just a dance. But that's fine. But because I have the ability with this microphone to let you know that sometimes you're overstepping your bounds when you make statements like that to people who have been in this game all of their life and all of the things that went with it, all of the people who came before us and those who have died since from off this set. There's a level of respect due that we understand that others may not. But just know that when you approach one of us and you say something slick, you may not be met with the best response. They may not be as colorful or eloquent as I may be in my retort. Just know they're going to feel some kind of way about it. So as time moves on, the whole purpose is for us to make sure as much as we can that those people coming up in the game are able to understand where we come from. One of my guys was just in Chicago this weekend from right here in San Antonio. And he's so sprung. I'm going to see him tomorrow over in Dallas. This guy goes everywhere. And his name is Dallas, by the way. Dallas goes everywhere, man. And I'm going to tell you, y'all see Dallas. Ladies, you see Dallas, you make sure you dance with him. But like others whom I have met throughout the dance community who have come into this thing and not necessarily have real good clarity about what this is, that first trip to the Mecca, it always changes them. It always changes them. It never fails. I have watched this happen over and over again, and I think it is the most amazing thing to see. When you know that somebody loves this dance and has just had an experience that took them to the next level, and they're like, oh my God, all of the puzzle pieces just fell in place. The light went on. I get it. Damn it, I get it. That's what happens. Vonda Powell, how you doing, baby? Yes, Dallas is awesome. Valerie O'Connor said, Dallas, come up on to Denim and Diamonds in September. He will be there. He will be there. We've already spoken. Dallas will be in Minneapolis in September. When you, and for me, for what I do, that's the part I think I love the most. Don't get me wrong. I like it when I get my little money when we do this thing. It ain't never enough, but what I like more is when I'm interacting with the people around the Steppers community and they let me know that they got something from inside stepping. Man, y'all don't even know how that make me feel. I promise you. When we were at the Heritage Ball this year in Atlanta, a fella walked up to me. He said, man, I watch your show every week. Guy out of New York. And I apologize. I do not remember his name, but I will not forget him. He told me, he said, man, I watch your show every week. He's like, I've learned so much. He's like, man, it helped me so much. And it's funny because the stuff you'll learn here, you don't even know you need it until you do. And then you go, doggone it. I remember Brian Forbes saying that on Inside Stepping. And when that happens and somebody says to me, man, listen, we appreciate what you do. Please keep doing it. Say less. You know, I don't have any plans on going anywhere, even though there are days when I come to sit in this seat and I be kicking and screaming. I literally come in here with an attitude, but y'all don't get to see that part, you know. And I'm thinking, why am I doing this? God, why am I doing this? I know why I'm doing it, but I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, it gets taxing sometimes. It gets overwhelming, you know, especially when we hit these events. And I really hate it when we do stuff and we're on location and it don't necessarily turn out exactly the way we wanted it to. But, you know, we do what we can with what we got. And for that, I still hope that we're able to at least give people those little nuggets that's going to help carry them in their journey in the game. You know, that right there means everything to me. It absolutely does. And I will continue doing what I do for those reasons, for that reason and those reasons alone, to make sure that everybody gets something from the information that we provide. I try to make sure that we have what I like to refer to as reputable individuals who speak specifically as we're talking about this dance, people whom I know that know what we're doing here, and not people who are guessing, not people who have misunderstandings, not people who have not been fully vetted. And it's no problem for me with the vetting process, because if there's anybody that's in the stepping game, 9 times out of 10, I either know them personally or I know of them and I have access to them. And I admit there are times we have people in this game that are great dancers, but they are not going to be the best people to provide information. Some are not capable of conveying the information without injecting some of their personal parts in it, which sometimes can taint the information. There are those who know, who are very dance educated, but they do not have the ability to articulate that information the way that it should be so that the general public understands it. It has to be palatable for you in order for it to make any sense. Now, I'm not taking any shots at any particular instructor, but let's be honest. There are some instructors out here, they are great dancers, but their ability to convey the information and translate what happens at their feet, in their hands, to a conversation to where you can digest that information and make it translate to your feet and hands. Some of them just don't have that. They're not able. Dan Land Pro, my man, what's happening, my brother? Yes, sir, man. I'm gonna be resilient. Yes, and it is an assignment. Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Thank you, Valeria. She says Inside Stepping helps her a lot as a promoter. You enjoy the weekly updates and viewing of the sets throughout the year. Thank you, and that's what we do. Simple fact is everyone is not able to articulate their points, positions, or feelings. Some people, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, some of y'all needs medication. Linda O'Daniel, how you doing? What am I doing on today? Okay. Yes, thank you so much. You love the show. I'm simply doing system tests right now. We've added 3 new platforms. We now are on Mixcloud, Instagram, and X, Twitter. So now you can watch live on any of those as well. Along with the YouTubes and Facebooks and everything else. We're going to make sure we're on every platform. The only reason we're not on TikTok yet, and y'all can help me on the TikTok platform, we need about 150 more subscribers on TikTok. We're at 800 and something because I kind of started on that late, but we need 150 more people on our TikTok channel to be able to go live on TikTok. If y'all help me get that right there, you'll be able to watch us across almost every single platform, and that's the goal. The only reason we're not going after the podcast side, which at one point we started doing the shows on, the only reason we're not doing that is because, of course, a lot of this is visual rather than verbal, and so we don't want to, bog people down with that thing. Hey, Janelle Anderson, how you doing? Lindo Daniel, all you got to do, I guess, if you share the videos off of the Inside Stepping page on TikTok, just start sharing that stuff and getting people to kind of, subscribe, hit the like button or whatever. That will make it, that'll help us to get those numbers up. We need 150 more on that platform. And if we can get those, then it'll help us tremendously. And let me also tell y'all this too. When we get these platforms running, when they're running like machinery, like they should, there's a few pennies that come down from the advertisers and things like that, which help to keep all of this stuff up and running, because everything that you see, and like I've said, as far as these studios are concerned, everything that you see, all of this equipment, all of these things, all of this stuff, this comes out of my pocket. I don't have sponsors. I don't have, people, and while I'm saying that, let me also say, hey, Wise Cat, what's happening? Let me also say that I do appreciate all of my benefactors. There are many of you who have contributed your money to our Cash App to make sure that Inside Stepping stays alive and well and doing what it does. And I want to tell you, y'all have no idea, thank you, how immensely thankful that I am that there is support coming in for Inside Stepping in a monetary way that helps to keep us doing what we do. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Brenda Montgomery, how you doing? The schedule for the weekend, I'm not writing it in stone, but on tomorrow, yes, we also do Zelle, Linda. Tomorrow it's not written in stone. The Tanya Dean, the Cash App is Inside Stepping, $ Inside Stepping, just like the name on the show. It's right there in the bottom lower right hand corner of the screen there. I'm not writing it in stone, Brenda, for tomorrow, but what I expect is that we will be probably going live midway through the day set. I'm gonna start setup tomorrow morning, and then we'll probably open up for some lightweight showtime during the day set tomorrow, and then we're going to go live for the white party tomorrow night. So we will definitely be on plenty of interviews, plenty of good times. We will have cameras in both rooms because, there's a 2-room setup. We're going to have at least 2 cameras in each room, and we're going to roll. We're going to roll with it from there and make it do what it do. Let's see. Anthony Sumner says, B. Forbes, I'm looking for you at Rodney Mack White Party this year. What'd you have against Detroit? You funny. Listen, I ain't got nothing against Detroit, but now I'm gonna say this, and this is not in any way a knock on Rodney Mack or anybody who does, who operates the way Rodney Mack does. But here's the thing. There are promoters who do not see the value in inside stepping. It is not within their budget, and I'm not saying they can't afford it. It's just not something they're interested in. And so in those cases, they do not reach out to us for the purpose of displaying their event. They don't think they need it. They've been doing it a long time. They don't need no help, so they good. So, and we cool with that. And to be honest with you, producer lady and I travel so much that we don't go out of our way too much to go places, because sometimes we're tired. We don't want to travel. There are times where, like, I got stuff scheduled that I don't necessarily want to be at, but I'm going to be there because I do what I say I'm going to do. And if whether we friend or foe, pay me or not, if I agree that I'm going to do something, I'm generally going to do it. Brenda Montgomery wants to know, have I considered establishing a small price schedule to help promoters get their word out? Here's the thing. I am in the process of doing some things differently. We were going to start looking for sponsorships. Now, I got to give a shout out to my man, Jay Most. Jay Most has been one of those people that understands what we do here and has seen the value in it. And we run his event commercial. We have done a program with him, an ad program where we promote his event across all of our platforms during live sessions as well as our regular weekly show. And I'm going to continue to talk about it because he saw the value in what we do and has spent money with us. And in fact, his attendance will have increased because of Inside Stepping in that regard, because I know several people who have told me, oh man, well, I'm going to that, and the thing about Inside Stepping, and a lot of promoters really don't know, they haven't done their homework, but I can tell you for an absolute fact, there are people who literally show up at events because they heard it on Inside Stepping, or they want to come because Inside Stepping is going to be there. It's as simple as that. It's a proven fact, and I can absolutely show you better than I can tell you. But we definitely increase people's numbers at their events. Let's see. Dark Kim, yeah, you say Inside Stepping been awesome for Dark Kim Productions. Yes, sir. And I appreciate you, sir. And we will continue promoting your events and looking forward to, what you got going on in the future. There's a guy, a great promoter, somebody who is conscientious and cares about the people. Hold these promoters accountable. When they're doing the right thing, give them their shout out, give them their flowers. When they're not, hey, Karen Fuller, how you doing, baby? Tree in the building, what's up? I see you, my brother Church. And so, hey, Demetra Kelly, so the whole thing is that we want to be able to continue to maintain what we do and in fact, increase the things that we got going on. This year, we're trying to do some things a little differently with the world's largest so that we don't run into the transmission issues we do every year. Because you know what's really funny, y'all? We'll be somewhere broadcasting, especially at the contest, and there are people, half the people in the room are literally on their phones watching the contest that we're broadcasting in the same room that we're in. I don't know what that's about, but it happens every year. It trips me out. I be cracking up. Like we sitting on the sound stage watching people's phones, and I can see the show playing on their phone, eating up, just sucking up bandwidth, killing the game. But this year we are working toward a goal of having a hardwired system in there, and of course, money makes these things possible. Dennis Moore in the building. What's happening, family? You in Dallas already? I saw you on the plane yesterday. We'll be there in the morning, man. I'll see you soon. We are working on the ability to make sure that we have that system already in place, and it is very expensive. And of course, the promoter of that event, Mr. Frazier, yet another. And see, and we do the world's largest out of the kindness of our heart. There's no money there for us, so we do the best we can with what we have. A lot of people don't know these type of things, these little small logistical things, but these are the things, and we don't, go around, well, so and so ain't pay us, and this person didn't pay, they don't want to pay. It ain't about that, because we don't do this for that. We do this because we want y'all to see this, and we want this community to grow and be stronger and better. And so there are certain things that I gotta show up and do, and World's Largest to me is worthy of that expense, so we do it. Now, I have considered, and this is something that we've got on the table that we're thinking about. We have considered doing a pay-per-view on the World's Largest to offset the cost of what it'll cost us in order to do it the right way, in order for us to not have transmission issues where we are losing signal and things are blanking out and freezing and all of that. We can literally stop that, but it costs money, and so that's something that is under consideration. I'm going to, in the next month or so, begin to work more toward figuring that whole thing out and making sure that we are able to provide that service without too much of a headache. But it's still no joke. Just so y'all know, it's still not cheap. And so, if we're able to make that happen, then we're going to make it do what it do. My man Tree, he say he's looking forward to me bringing the Black Factor back, and I hope many support it. I do too, and I am also looking forward to come back. I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. It takes a lot to make that show happen, and I sometimes am very disheartened by the lack of support that an educational show receives versus something that's more of entertainment. And this is, of course, is more entertainment. And our people tend to be more, we gravitate more toward, the entertaining side of things than we do the okay, wait, I think I finally found this daggone thing that I'm looking for. Okay. All this time I've been looking for this one little thing, and now I think I found it. Let me see. Is this going to do what it's supposed to do? So, the whole thing is that we want to continue to be able to provide everything that we can for everyone involved, so that moving forward, the entertainment only gets better. The quality, the content only gets better. The visuals get better, and we're able to bring you the best experience and knowledge of information, access to the people that we can. That's what this is all about. That's exactly what it's about. Let's see. I cannot get this thing to chime into what is supposed to be chimed into. Let's see, live. I'm working, y'all. I'm working. But the whole purpose of all of it is for y'all. It's for the people. This is why we do what we do. There's no other reason for this, because it's definitely not for me, as they say. You got a lot of people around this community who have very specific intentions. Many of them are very self-serving, and unfortunately, a lot of times it's just not a good thing for the community at large. Hey, C1s. But the community at large doesn't know sometimes the things that take place, that cause problems, that make all of this harder on everybody. If we didn't have bad actors, if you will, there's a lot of things that we wouldn't even have to be bothered with. And there's so many things. Matter of fact, let me back up. If we didn't have bad actors, we wouldn't even need inside stepping. Because people would be teaching the right thing all the time. They would be giving you the right information. You know? That's just the bottom line, you know, but everybody is not going to do right. You know, they can't help it. Well, they can, they don't want to. And that's fine too, you know. That's why I have to do what I do. I will be glad. You know, I was messing with T. Pratt not too long ago. And T. Pratt is one of those people like Dan Land Pro and a few other individuals who, and Marky B, may he rest well, who have put in the time. They wrote articles. A lot of people don't know there was an Inside Stepping magazine before there was an Inside Stepping show. I was not the facilitator of that magazine. However, there were people who were working hard to provide information to this community before me, before we had the technology and the ability to basically have our own stations and do what we do, you know. And shouts out to all of them because they all made an effort. But the simple fact is, it gets, you know, because I was messing with T. Pratt and I say, hey, man, you need to come on back in the game. He said, oh, no. Oh, no. He didn't want no parts of this, you know. And I understand because this is, it can take a lot out of you sometimes. It really can, especially when you know you're trying to do the right thing and other people are not. When you know that you're putting in the work to do the right thing and you got other people causing mayhem and doing things that are causing problems. You know, what can you do? Because we don't own nothing, and you know, we don't own nobody. You know, all we can do is work with what we have, and hopefully it gets in the right hands. We can't do nothing. We can't, you know, this don't belong to anybody. Stepping doesn't belong to anyone. The ability to promote an event. Can't nobody stop you from doing that if that's what you want to do. It don't mean it's okay. It don't make it right, but can't nobody stop you. Can't nobody stop you from calling yourself an instructor, even if you don't know the dance. Nobody can stop you. But as consumers, and I'm still a consumer, we can hold people accountable for doing things that are not positive in the community, that are not good for the community. By, like one of my people said last night on the show, and I'm sorry I don't remember her name, but she said straight up, we vote with our dollars. And that's the absolute truth. Bottom line, don't spend your money where the people who are taking your money don't care, not really, about you or your journey in this stepping world, and care more about how much money you're going to put in their pocket. Like I said earlier, you got people who walk in a room and they start counting heads. They know what they paid to get in. Let's see, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80. They count how many tables in the room. Did they buy them tables? They paid for them tables. That's $100, $200. They do the math in their head and they think, whoa, that's a lot of money. But they don't remember the part. You had to pay for this hotel, this banquet hall. You had to pay for this food when it's available. You had to pay for some of the people that came there, your DJs. You know, what kind of deal did you work with your instructors? And by the time it's all said and done, and they don't tell you about the little nickel and dime peripheral stuff that also comes up. They don't tell you about none of that. They don't count that stuff. And then you sitting there, you know, spent your money. It is what it is, y'all. Oh, okay. Here we go. Stream preview. Y'all, I'm working out this stuff. I'm working on this. We're working it. This is still system test. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but I'm still testing. We still working on stuff here, y'all. We're trying to get this. I'm trying to understand how this new thing works they got with Facebook on groups. That's the only thing we got left here to be bothered with. Everything else is pretty much worked out. I think we've got a pretty good thing going. We are live on, let me go back and read the list because now I don't almost forgot how many different things we on now. Okay, we are live on Instagram. We are live on Mixcloud. Now on Mixcloud, you got to go on the DJ Be Real Inside Stepping. But DJ Be Real, because that's my Mixcloud. That's the name I use on Mixcloud because I go there sometimes and play music live, which I'm going to do a little more of that in the future. I haven't been doing that in a minute. But then you have Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, X. We are live on there. Right now, if you go to each one of these platforms and you go on Inside Stepping, you will see us live on there. Instagram, Mixcloud, X, Inside Stepping page, not the group. The group is where we're still having an issue. We're trying to work that out. And let me see. We are also on my personal page. We are on Twitch. And we are, of course, on YouTube. And y'all don't forget, you know, I always encourage people to use the YouTube channel because of the reason of being able to watch it on your smell-o-vision, your television smell-o-vision. Let me see what we got here. Doing these settings to see if it's going to make any difference here. And the fact is, I mean, I'm sitting here, I keep fooling with this program for the groups, but I'm getting ready to stop in a minute because I'm really waiting for as soon as we get 150 more people joined on the TikTok page, we are going to switch that platform over to the TikTok, and we're not going to worry about this groups. And we're just going to put a thing in the group's deal where we say to watch today's show, go on over to the YouTube channel, and in that way they will be able to still keep up with what's going on. Let's see. Nope, that's not it. Because I don't know. They really have screwed the pooch on this one. And it's funny, too, because I went and I did some research to try and figure out this problem, and they had given us a solution for it. However, that solution has since been tampered with by Facebook because they really, for whatever reason, do not want people streaming from the groups anymore, which I think is quite silly. But it is what it is. So with that said, I think that's going to conclude the majority of what we're going to do here today in regard to testing. Now I want to say again, as always, I appreciate all of y'all. I thank you for hanging out with me during this little test period. We're checking things out. Y'all get ready and tune in on tomorrow. Starting in the afternoon sometime, we're going to go live and start broadcasting from Black and Bling in Dallas with them Texas boys. We're going to be hanging out and kicking it and doing the thing and enjoying each other in this dance. And let's see, seeing what we can get into. Let me see. We're gonna turn that sucker off. I'm done with that. We ain't dealing with that no more. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, depending on where you live. I will be in contact with everyone on tomorrow. Y'all look forward to the festivities and the fun, because it's going down in I almost said Houston. I'm so used to saying Houston. I be there so much. It's going down in Dallas, Texas, y'all, them Texas boys, and we're going to have a real good time. So y'all have a great afternoon. Thank you for hanging, and peace out.
Command Steppers, Minnesota, and Team USA. Command Steppers, Minnesota, and Team USA Mortgage Brooklyn Park presents the 15th annual 15-year anniversary J Most Unique Edition Minnesota Steppers and Line Dancers All-Star Bash.
Our special feature for the weekend is the Y'all Can't Beat Us Steppers and Line Dancers contest. We got a $10,000 prize pot, so y'all come get this money. Contact me, I'm Alvina at 651-276-7703.